Welcome to Birth Journey Through the Seasons. I'm Mika Rock, Montreal birth doula and hypnobirthing childbirth educator. And today, as you can see, Montreal got a lot of snow yesterday and it's +2. We had some sun this morning, but now it's getting chilly again. I'm just noticing how red my nose has just become. So today, as we journey through the seasons of parenting, and we're coming into our fourth journey, as we've traveled through fertility, pregnancy, labor, and birth. And today I want to explore the first hours of bonding after baby is born. So I'm happy that you're joining me wherever you are, and I hope you are warm and cozy, because I'm a bit cold to tell you the truth, but it's okay. So before I start, I just want to mention that the past few days, with all the changes that we've been through in the past months, have come here in Quebec and Montreal into this heightened time where we understand that during the holidays, we're going to continue to be in red zone and continue to be in a place where we basically can connect with the people who are living under the same roof with us. And in many ways, this feels constricting and contracting, and I just want to acknowledge that. And during this time, one of the things that are still happening, pandemic, no pandemic, babies are still born. So in my work as a birth doula, I find that this is now more than ever important for me to share this information for families who are going through this big event in their life and this transformation during a global pandemic. So I find that information that I can share about bonding can really make a difference for this new family, or for these new families. So here we go. When we talk about these first hours, there's a lot going on, but really, when a new human is emerging into the world, there's really just one thing that is happening. You're giving birth to a new human, and everything around you is there to serve and support you. And babies go through a very big shift from womb to world, and they come from an environment that has been nourishing and warm and safe in every way possible, into this new world of bright lights and noises and a lot of new stimulation that they're not used to. So when we talk about bonding in the first hours, one of the things we want to keep in mind is how to make it as gentle a transition as possible for the babies. So when babies arrive, the most familiar environment for them is to be connected to the parent, to the birth giver. And the way to accomplish that and to allow that to happen is skin to skin. And it's the same for the birth giver, for the woman, or however they identify, person who just gave birth, to really understand that bringing your baby to you, skin to skin, and I'll say in a couple of moments what that actually means, is the best place for baby to be. So what is skin to skin? Skin to skin means that the baby is skin bare, so they're naked, and they're placed on your abdomen or on your chest, and you are also bare skin. But before I go into talking about the benefits of skin to skin, I want to say that sometimes special circumstances will mean that your baby will need some extra medical care. And in those cases where babies are separated, skin to skin can always be done once baby comes back to the parent, whenever baby is stable. So this is really important to mention, because even though the golden hour and the immediate hour has a lot of things that I'm soon going to mention that are important, there's always an opportunity to recreate this moment and recreate this time where your baby can bond with you and be with you skin to skin. So I want to acknowledge something that can often be overlooked in these first moments when babies are born, and it's that many times the birth giver needs a moment to gather themselves, and it's an instinctive inner urge that shows up to take a breath, to pause, to take a moment before we reach out to bring the baby to us. And by doing that, by being aware of this, that this can show up, and the people that are there to support can allow that to happen, we are giving a moment to slow down and to acknowledge this, that we were just pregnant, we are giving birth, we just gave birth, and now there's this stepping into parenting moment before we are actually reaching out. So this place of give me a moment to just collect myself. And this can really help integrate the birth giver's experience and integrate their nerve system and everything that's happening to them. So it's when we say immediate skin to skin, we also need to acknowledge that there's many times this pause that shows up that we don't want to overlook, and to give that space. So that said, when baby comes skin to skin, they find a lot of familiar things in their surroundings. The warmth of the skin, the sound of the heart beating, the voice of the parents that they've been hearing throughout pregnancy. And all of that creates a safe environment for them to start to get used to the outside world. And for the birth giver, hormones are peaking. So oxytocin is at the peak of a lifetime in these moments. And we are open and receptive. And some parents experience this as a moment of pure joy and love and connection, but it's not true for everybody. And I just want to say that that is completely normal. And if you don't feel that you're falling in love with your baby in those first slippery, wet moments as they're placed on you, then that's okay. And sometimes bonding can take weeks. But it brings us back to skin, because when we are connected skin to skin with our babies, that supports the secretion of oxytocin. And also, once baby starts to stimulate the breasts and self-attach, these are moments where prolactin is also secreted. And both of these hormones are happy hormones. They're hormones of well-being. They bring a sense of ease and connection into play. So, baby skin to skin. And a big part of the golden hour is really hands off. So being in a comfortable position where you can relax and take in all of this that is happening, this really magical moment that baby is now in the outside world, and we get to meet them and we get to look into their eyes and connect and smell and snuggle. But for the breastfeeding, it's really important to understand that there is nothing that we need to do at that point with the initial breastfeeding. It's really hands off. Babies have all the instincts and all the reflexes to be able to figure out how to get to the breast. They know how to crawl. They can breast crawl if we allow them the space and the time. So they start crawling towards the breast, and they can bob their heads, and they know how to turn their heads from side to side, and they can self-attach and find the latch. And if you've ever witnessed this, it's just phenomenal. And if not, there's some YouTube movies out there that you can just search breast crawl. And I really recommend to actually witness this and see this for yourself, because it's really something that can often be overlooked, but it's all there. All we need is to give it time. So breast crawling and self-attachment, these are two big, fundamental, basic steps in bonding with our babies in those first hours after baby's born. And they can set a foundation for breastfeeding, because babies are primed to know how to latch without us assisting them, even though they've never used their mouths to feed. Yeah, think about it. They've been in a world where everything has been just supplied to them right through the umbilical cord. So this is a whole new experience that they're embarking on, learning how to breastfeed. So bonding with your baby in the first hours is all about having a quiet, calm, safe space to be together and to allow things to slowly unfold. And partners can also do skin to skin. Once babies have had time to have their initial experience, and even if they don't latch, I just want to say that out loud, even if they don't latch in these first hours, there's still many more feeds, as you can imagine, where they're going to be able to practice breastfeeding. So it's not really about the latch at this point, it's more about the connection and the experience here that is happening. And many of them do latch, and then once the feeding is over, and many babies, newborns, after this first alertness of the first couple of hours, they fall to sleep. That's when the partners can do skin to skin and bring babies to them. And I tell ya, this is a very special time. So don't skip that. Wherever you give birth, whatever needs to happen around you, this is your main focus, having time with your baby, skin to skin. So I want to finish here today. There's always more I want to share, but I also want to keep it short and sweet. I'll say that I finished a season by journeying through fertility, pregnancy, birth, and now early parenting. And next week on Thursday, I plan to start a new season where I'm going to journey with the core breath. And this is something I bring from my yoga teacher experience. And I want to share with all of you how having this basic practice of core breath, and I'll explain all about it and what it actually entails in the coming weeks, and how it can support you, not just physically and finding a center and feeling strong, because it helps our true core become stronger and more flexible. And I want to bring in an understanding that core breath also strengthens us mentally and emotionally, as it creates a physical but also mental and emotional center for us to always come back to, that is right here in our bodies, that can always be a connection for us. So on that note, and with that invitation to join me to journey through the next season, I wish you a wonderful day from snowy Montreal. All the best. Lots of love. Thank you for joining me.